Welcome in. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Boys and girls, we were talking a little drama llama this coming by way of Coach Saleh and Breece Hall. I'm not too thrilled with it. I want to get into my thoughts as well as some of the comments that were made. So let's pull up the comment from Robert Saleh. First, this coming by way of Zach Rosenblatt. Robert Saleh said, Breece Hall is a special talent, but that there's grimy yards that a back has to understand he needs to get. Said he's trying to create explosives right now, and he needs to get more of the tough yards rather than always trying to hit the home run. Oh, what are you doing, Robert Saleh? You are on the friggin' hot seat already, and calling out your best player or one of your best players is just not really the way I want to go about it. And, I get what he's trying to say here, but maybe, take a look and read the room. Breece Hall literally scored a touchdown last week and came out and said, hey, it's on me, it's on the team, the players got to play better, we got to do everything better. He took onus of that. The dude came back from injury. It's when you pick fights with people, you don't pick fights with the guys that scored, I think, 4 of your last 4 or 5 of your last 5 touchdowns, whatever Breece Hall has right now. Really, really goofy. It's the same sort of reaction I had to people that were kind of giving Garrett Wilson crap about the, 2 fumbles in 3 games. The same thing applies to me. These guys are trying to do everything they can because we have an inept offense that cannot move the ball. Why do you think he's trying to create explosive plays? Why do you think Garrett Wilson is maybe a little bit more loose with the football? Because he's trying to make more elusive plays. It's because the offense can't fucking score. It's fucking insane. It's absolute Looney Tunes that this is a conversation we have to be having right now. Of course we're going to try and overextend. Of course he's going to look for the home run threat because he's getting 15 touches a game because we can't get a damn first down. I'm sorry. If you're not going to make a change at the offensive coordinator position and you can't magically make Rodgers come back, it's just really frustrating to see this. And it feels like it's one of those moments where you say, hey, why don't you just read the room for a minute? The temperature's really hot. Let's dial it back a little bit. Now, Breece Hall did respond to the comments that were made. He said, I hate that people take constructive criticism so personal. It's just a challenge. Be to the best version of you. So Breece Hall's really taken the high road here. I would not be upset with Breece Hall if he was really frustrated behind the scenes. And I would imagine there's probably a little bit of him that's kind of irked at this. But he's taken the high road here because if he wanted to say, oh no, this is ridiculous, and he wanted to slam his fists on the table, he could have really imploded this a whole lot more than it is. So I give him a lot of props for taking that high road. And as a Jet fan, thank you for doing that because I'm already spiraling out of control in my own head. So Breece, thank you so much. And just know, Jet fans don't feel this way about you. Now, as far as the criticism side of that, because Breece Hall is acknowledging that there is a criticism or a constructive criticism here. This is what they're kind of talking about. Now, Breece Hall, in terms of his rushing capacity the last few weeks, 3.6, 2.3, 2.2, 3.1, 1.4, and 3.3 yards per carry and 1 touchdown. So really not good numbers from Breece Hall, but you look at our offensive line, we're on our 12th, 13th different starting offensive linemen right now, which is absolutely bonkers. And the running back position is so reliant on the offensive line. You saw what happened to Le'Veon Bell when he went from the best offensive line in football to our trash line. That clearly should have at least told Jet fans and coaches maybe that maybe the offensive line is the issue here. And I understand you can't totally harp and rein in on every, aspect of why the Jets are bad this year because it's a whole myriad. I don't even know if that's the right word. It's a whole litany of reasons. But focusing in on this sort of stuff with the rushing yards and not factoring in the receiving side of things, Breece Hall has 2 or 3 50-yard receptions. I don't know. I get where people are frustrated and you say there could be hidden yards there. Maybe if he just puts his foot down and maybe gets an extra 2 yards from hitting a linebacker as opposed to bouncing it outside and trying to break it for 70 yards. Maybe he winds up getting 1 yard, or maybe he loses a yard in that sort of attempt. But you know what? Barry Sanders tried to do the same thing. Barry Sanders knew his team was trash, and he would run around like crazy trying to get the play to break it big. He'd be 1 yard, -1 yard, -1 yard, -1 yard, 60 yards. And that's what makes him so valuable because he can break it at any moment. Are you really going to try and clip his wings by saying you got to get the grimy yards and not allow him to try and rip one off for 50, 60 yards? I'm sorry, until I see this offense consistently move down the field, I want Breece Hall doing anything he can to score the damn football. So that's my thoughts on that. Really frustrated. I hope this doesn't bubble over into like a really nuclear situation, because I feel like this has the inner workings of potentially doing that. So guys, let me know what your thoughts are of Robert Saleh's comments. What did you think Breece Hall thinks about this? What do you think of his comment afterwards? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, go Jets. Jets!